The palace was calm. The officials were ready. The ceremony, routine. But then, silence. Princess Leonor spoke. Her words shattered protocol, and the officials were left speechless. It began as any other official gathering. Royal advisors stood in formation, dignitaries filled the hall, and the king and queen presided over the event with steady composure. Everything was rehearsed, precise, and predictable. But history does not always follow a script. Princess Leonor, heir to the Spanish throne, stepped forward with confidence. Her role was expected to be symbolic, say the words prepared for her, smile at the crowd, and retreat into silence. Instead, she chose authenticity. Her voice, calm yet resolute, carried through the hall. It was not the voice of a teenager bound by protocol, but the voice of a leader stepping into her destiny. She spoke not only of duty, but of the challenges facing Spain. She acknowledged the struggles of her people, the criticisms of monarchy, and the urgent need for renewal. Officials who had spent years crafting careful words for the princess stood frozen. Their faces betrayed disbelief. Their silence was not mere respect, it was shock. For the first time in decades, the carefully guarded image of royal obedience cracked open. And behind it stood Leonor, raw, honest, and powerful. The king kept his composure, but the flicker of surprise in his eyes betrayed him. The queen, ever graceful, looked on with quiet pride, her lips pressing into the faintest smile. Around them, advisors shifted uneasily. This was not what they had planned. This was not what they had approved. Why was this moment so significant? Because it revealed the tension between tradition and truth. For centuries, monarchy has survived on controlled appearances. But Leonor understands something different. Without authenticity, the crown loses its meaning. Her words spoke to young people, who saw in her the courage to challenge silence. They spoke to critics, who realized that the monarchy was not as rigid as they believed. And they spoke to loyalists, who suddenly felt hope that the institution they cherished could adapt and survive. The reaction outside the palace was instant. Headlines declared her a force of nature. Social media exploded with clips of her words. Supporters celebrated her boldness, calling her a queen for a new generation. Critics were disarmed, unsure how to attack a princess who spoke so openly about truth. Inside the palace, however, the atmosphere was different. Advisors debated the consequences. Should they rein her in? Should they issue clarifications? Or should they embrace the fact that Leonor had just accomplished something none of them could, capturing the heart of a nation with sincerity? This drama was not born from scandal, but from honesty. And that is what made it so powerful. The officials left speechless. That they were not defeated, they were confronted with a reality they could not control. That the monarchy's survival rests not on silence, but on courage. As the crowd erupted in applause, Leonor stood unwavering. She had crossed a line no one dared to cross before her age. She had shown the world not the shadow of her father, nor the protection of her mother, but her own strength. And in doing so, she left even the most seasoned palace officials without words. What happens next? Will the royal family encourage her independence, or attempt to contain it? Will officials learn to trust her instincts, or fear her unpredictability? These questions hang in the air, unanswered, but alive with possibility. What is certain is that Princess Leonor has proven herself. Not by waiting for her crown, but by daring to speak when silence was expected. By sending a message not written for her, but born within her. This is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of a transformation. The monarchy of Spain, so often accused of being outdated, has found its renewal in a young woman unafraid to stand apart. Her words may fade from memory, but the image will not, the image of advisors staring in disbelief, of officials unable to respond, of a young princess holding the room in the palm of her hand. Royal drama does not always come from scandal. Sometimes, it comes from truth. And on this day, Leonor proved that truth has the power to leave even the most powerful speechless. The palace has seen many moments of ceremony, but few moments of history. This was one. And as Leonor left the stage, the silence of the officials said more than any applause could. They had been caught unprepared. They had been shown the future. The future queen had spoken. And the world had listened. Princess Leonor left them speechless, not by accident, but by destiny.